Hello everyone, we are back with yet another episode of Illusion Training and Education. Today let's talk about how to make chairside temporaries. Now whenever we prepare the teeth, provisionalizing them becomes extremely important to restore aesthetics and function until the final prosthesis is ready to be delivered. Also, when we are working with vital teeth, it is extremely crucial to seal them and immediately provisionalize them to prevent hypersensitivity. Using provisional restorations to visualize the final aesthetic treatment outcome is highly recommended. This is a kind of a test drive for the patients to visualize what they are signing up for. The material of choice for giving chairside temporaries are bisacral resins. These give good strength, great color stability, and also an exceptionally smooth surface prior to polishing. Let's go ahead and see how chairside temporaries are fabricated.
So the first step is to have a mock-up ready. All you need to do is just take a preliminary impression and get a mock-up made on it. This is the mock-up that I have received for my case. After evaluating that the mock-up meets all my specifications, I am going to go ahead and make a silicone key or a putty index. I will take equal proportions of the base and catalyst and start mixing till it's a uniform color. Once it's ready, I am going to place it on the mock-up and adapt it to form an index or a key. I want the buccal side of the index to be thick to give it the rigidity, else it's going to be a little sloppy to work with. I'm going to wait till it sets. Our silicone index or silicone key is now ready. You can see how thick the buccal wall is. I'm just going to cut off the excess with a blade. At this point, I also want to make these notches towards the gingival part of the index. This will make removal of the excess very easy. We need to have at least one tooth on either side of the teeth to be provisionalized to have stability in the index. I'm going to mark the midline so that I know its orientation in the mouth. Once this is done, I'm going to try this into the patient's mouth to see if it is sitting in place. So this is the patient who reported to me with a lost bridge in the anterior region. These preparations were done elsewhere a few years ago. I'm now going to go ahead and provisionalize him till we plan a prosthesis for him. So I'm going to try the putty index into the patient's mouth to see if it is sitting correctly. Once this is done, I will start loading the bisacral material into the index after bleeding the material outside. Notice how I am not lifting the tip. If I do that, it may lead to incorporation of voids. Once I have loaded the index and have dried the teeth, I am going to use the marking on the index to position it back into the patient's mouth. There we see the index is seating completely onto the patient's teeth. Notice how all the excess is coming out. I can now easily take all this away with a probe once the material is semi-set. Had I not cut these notches in the gingival part, I would have had a lot of excess material already cured and would have had to trim all of that. Now once the material is set, I remove the silicone index. There you see it looks really nice. It can give the patient a good idea of how the final restoration would look. In case there are any voids here at this stage, I can easily repair them by adding some flowable composite. The one thing we need to take care of is the slimy, shiny layer on top of the provisional. This is nothing but the oxygen inhibited layer. So we just rub it with some alcohol or cure it through a layer of jelly applied on the temp to eliminate this uncured layer. It can now be finished with a fine grit diamond burr and some softflex discs if required.
So I hope this video has been helpful to you. Please write in your comments and questions at the email address flashing on your screen. Also let us know if you would like to see a particular procedure in the upcoming episodes. This is Dr. Mahesh Jagwani signing off until next week. Keep watching.